Thank God you're here, adventurer. I need you to find the 27 blue diamonds that belong in my crown. But I don't know where they are. If you manage to find them all, I will give you a grand reward. $5 whole. The world's first blockchain-native handheld games console was announced last week, the result of an unholy alliance between the gaming OS company Playtron and the Web3 enthusiasts at Miston Labs. It's called the SuiPlay 0x1, a title I'm assuming they pulled out of a trash bin full of Microsoft's rejected console names.
They just punched the keyboard.
The console will be integrated with the Sui blockchain, which the handheld creators say will allow for asset ownership directly connected to a device's account system for the first time in gaming history. Finally! While that is technically correct in the truest sense of the word own, Ars Technica points out that Steam gives you pretty much the same functionality with their community market. The 0x1 promises that users can transfer assets freely between each other without ever thinking about crypto or wallet addresses. Thank you. Ars also points out that you can already do this on many centralized platforms like Magic the Gathering Online or, dare I say it, Steam's community market. In contrast with Steam, the 0x1 hopes to be a platform for blockchain games and allow game makers to offer on-chain incentives like tokens and assets to entice new players. Sure, weekly free games haven't made the Epic Games Store profitable, but I'm sure giving away volatile digital currencies will work. Ubisoft is now removing copies of The Crew from players' libraries after shutting the online-only game servers down. The timing of the move is interesting, seeing as YouTuber Ross Scott recently launched a campaign against Ubisoft's shutdown of The Crew to try and motivate legal changes to prevent this sort of game destruction. Scott himself has received reports from gamers that their licenses have been revoked, and posts have blown up on Reddit in yet another beautiful demonstration of the Streisand effect. Ubisoft's short-sighted move doesn't seem to have affected Scott's plans, nor has it broken the will of those working on a project to bring The Crew back from the dead. Zombie cars, woo! A member of The Crew offline and online server emulation, or the Qs for short, told PC Gamer the team was saddened by the development, but that they believe that they can still make it work. Not all community efforts to revive dead games face such difficulties though. A fan initiative to revive team-based FPS Lawbreakers has received the support of the game's creator Cliff Bleszinski. Probably because my boy Cliffy B sees his games and gamers as things to be respected. Meanwhile, Ubisoft sees their games as long wooden sticks and gamers as piñatas shaped like cartoon money bags. Fallout 4 will finally get a next-gen upgrade on the 25th of this month, just shy of a year later than it was supposed to. While this is great news for most Fallout 4 fans, Team Folon, who has been working on the game-sized Fallout London mod for years, is a bit miffed. Fallout London was supposed to come out on April 23rd, but since Bethesda's update will break the mod just 2 days later, they decided to delay. In the meantime, Fallout fans should consider jumping back into Fallout 76. The MMO has set a new concurrent player record on Steam thanks to the premiere of the new TV series. Player counts for Fallout 4 and New Vegas also doubled days before the premiere, but they didn't set any new records. It helps that the TV show is getting great reviews for the most part, with a second season allegedly already planned before the show premiered. Some diehard fans may have discovered when we'll be hearing more about the series' future, as texting a phone number from the 6th episode teases a potential reveal in 33 weeks. Meanwhile, if you call the number, you just hear a guy horrifically screaming for a few seconds. That's barely enough time to enjoy the screams. But you always have time to enjoy our sponsor, iFixit. It's easy to feel like you're losing control, especially when your controllers stop working. But forget going out and buying replacements. Check iFixit's detailed guides for fixing your controllers and game consoles. You can even buy parts for some game consoles like the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck. Check out iFixit using the link below and give your busted console a new lease on life and get free shipping on orders of $100 or more. Quick Bits. They have the same great taste of regular bits, but only take half the time to cook. Gaming unlocked its newest bromance when Stellar Blades director Hyung Tae Kim and NieR Automata's director Yoko Taro sat down together for an IGN interview. While Kim has been very honest about how much NieR inspired his newest game, Yoko Taro says he's been a fan of Kim's work for at least 2 decades. Taro even went so far as to say that Stellar Blade is much better than NieR Automata. And for a moment, fanfiction writers across the internet stopped choosing between writing about NieR Automata's hot female protagonist and writing about Stellar Blade's hot female protagonist. Instead, they united to write about what it would be like if the creators of those characters kissed, or more.
Kissed twice.
Apple recently changed its App Store rules to allow retro game emulators, but one of the first emulators approved, iGBA, has since been removed by Apple for IP infringement. Shockingly, Nintendo had nothing to do with it. Instead, iGBA is allegedly a clone of GBA for iOS, a decade-old predecessor to the Delta emulator. Delta creator Riley Testet expressed frustration with Apple for delaying approval of the Delta emulator app, while also approving a knockoff of a project he made as a high schooler. According to Testet, the developer behind the iGBA app reached out personally to apologize, so let's not do the usual internet thing where somebody makes the wrong decision and we all decide to hunt them for sport. Don't. Specs for the PS5 Pro, which were initially leaked by YouTuber Moore's Law is Dead and corroborated by Insider Gaming, have been double corroborated by The Verge. You can only do that when you go to journalism school. One day I will, I swear. The outlet appears to have gotten a hold of the same or similar documents that MLID described in his video, which has now been copyright stricken off of YouTube by Sony, an action that actually caused us to cover this story. In today's second example of the Streisand effect. That's 2 for 1, baby! We were thinking of mentioning reports that Sony is asking developers to create special enhanced modes for their PS5 Pro versions of their games, but this really pushed it over the edge. Ubisoft's season pass for Star Wars Outlaws has sparked controversy, and not just because it costs a whole $40. In addition to 2 post-launch DLCs, the pass includes the exclusive Jabba's Gambit mission at launch, raising concerns that everybody's favorite gangster space slug might not be available in the base, already $70 version of the game. Ubisoft, however, has responded saying that Jabba the Hutt and the Hutt Cartel are a major faction in the game, and Jabba's Gambit is just an additional, optional mission. If you're still angry, just think of the Rage as even more additional premium content. That'll be half $40. It's $20. And Keanu Reeves, best known for playing Johnny Silverhand in Cyberpunk 2077 and nothing else, will be expanding his voice acting portfolio to include Shadow the Hedgehog in the upcoming Sonic 3 movie. This is the sickest news of the day. I love this. Shadow, of course, is designed to be a cool, dark version of Sonic the Hedgehog with chest hair and occasionally a gun. This has the potential to make any film adaptation a little cool. That being said, it's hard to imagine who could pull off an edgy cartoon hedgehog packing heat better than Keanu Reeves. But the only thing better than gaming news is more gaming news, so come back on Thursday for another episode of Game Linked.